So the holidays are going to feel a little different this year. I suggest some cocktails to help us get through it. I'm J.M. Hirsch, Editorial Director here at Milk Street, and this is the Thanksgiving cocktail edition of Milk Street at Home. I'm going to show us how to make two cocktails that pair perfectly with the Thanksgiving table, and one of them is so simple we're not even going to measure anything. And that's the one we're going to start with. I call it the Cider House Rules. And what I love about it is that it's a pairing of fresh apple cider and bourbon. And they go so well together that we have to do almost nothing to them to turn them into an amazing cocktail. Like I said, we're not even going to measure them. So obviously we're going to start with our bourbon. How much to add? I don't know. Probably a lot. Is that enough? You tell me. Nah, it's not enough. If you insist, I'll add more. How's that? Is that enough? Yeah. There we go. It is the holidays after all. Okay, we've got our bourbon. To that, we're going to add a tiny little pinch of kosher salt. Just like in our cooking, in our cocktails, salt brightens and heightens all the other flavors. And then we're going to add a dash of orange bitters. You could use Angostura, but I like the brightness of orange bitters. All right. And then, of course, the fresh apple cider. Again, how much? How much do you want? I think that's good. That's probably maybe 50-50. There we go. All right. Now, we just have to give this a stir in the glass. Could you shake it? Yes. But you can just stir it right in the glass. It's much easier. All right. I'm going to throw some ice cubes in there and give it another stir. And now we're going to drink it until we're thankful. Cheers. Oh, that's perfect. Actually, it is really a great seasonal cocktail, all joking aside. All right, so that is the Cider House Rules. The next cocktail we're going to make is a little bit more creative, a little bit more fun. It is called the pumpkin pie. I know, it gets its name from the signature ingredient, which is canned pumpkin puree. Now, don't get the stuff that's pre-sweetened and pre-seasoned because that's going to be too syrupy for a cocktail. You just want the pumpkin puree. All right, so to make this cocktail, we're going to start with 2 ounces of vodka. And there we go. Make sure you do not use the top shelf for this cocktail. And to that, we're going to add a tablespoon of the pumpkin puree. And slop that right in there. Oop, there we go. All right. And we're going to add a tiny little pinch of kosher salt, same as before. We're going to add some chocolate bitters this time, although orange bitters would be great too if that's all you've got. But chocolate is really nice. It adds a richness to it that goes well. Then we're going to add a ½ ounce each of ginger liqueur and orange liqueur. And I love these because they add bright, sharp notes that both sweeten the cocktail, but also kind of round out the other flavors and give it kind of a heightened flavor. All right, and I'm using orange curacao, but you can use any orange liqueur that you have. Add that, there we go. All right, now we're going to throw some ice in it and shake it up. And you're going to want to give this one a good shake because we want that puree to really mix in. There we go. Usually 5 seconds is good, but this one, we're going to go a little bit longer. Look at that color. That's amazing. All right. And we're going to serve this in a coupe. And because of all that puree, we're going to double strain it because we don't want all that pulp in our finished cocktail. So there we go. And that means, see, there we go. It means it will strain a little bit more slowly than a typical cocktail. And it also is helpful to take a spoon or a silicone spatula and just very gently stir it back and forth. And that just helps it go through. You don't want to press on it because you don't want to press that pulp through the mesh cocktail strainer. There we go. It's coming. We'll get there. And you can also tilt it to the side. That helps because the bottom tends to get clogged with the pulp. There we go. A little bit more because why not? It's the holidays. I mean, really speak, this is only a 2 ounce pour, really. After your bourbon, this is the lighter cocktail. There we go. The rest of that is mostly pulp, so we're going to set that aside. And to finish it off, we're going to take a nutmeg. There we go. And we're going to give it a little scrape right over it just to kind of add some toasty notes to it. And there we go. Cheers and happy Thanksgiving to all. Oh, wow, that's really yummy.